Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. It's nice to have you along. We of course keep taking a look at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Good to see that club rugby is back. A lot of friendly fixtures happening at the moment, and we'll talk about that during the course of the show. Big thanks of course to Score Energy Drinks on board with you see Score behind me now. Remember, you can win yourself a case of Score during the course of the show, so stick around for the Spot the Ball competition. And of course MChem 24-hour pharmacy on the corner of N1 and Durban Road. We'll be taking a look at what's happening down at MChem a little bit later during the course of the show. So a nice full show for you this evening. As always, we go down to a club and we catch up with the players. Tonight is the opportunity for Busy Bees. We went down there last night to catch up with the guys behind the scenes. We of course go to the DHL Stormers. As we know, they are now on a bye and head towards Ireland next week, and of course come off a good win against the Lions this past weekend. We also go down to the Curry Cup, where we'll be catching up with players like Tristan Lades and Liam Quisson, at least Kluisman. They're playing this Friday against Griquas in Kimberley. And of course, we managed to get a game on the table. Fantastic stuff. We finally have some friendly fixtures for 2022. And this week it is Franschhoek up against Villiersdorp. And we're of course going to show you some of the highlights of that in a second. So, nice full show for you this evening, folks. We'll of course also try and get the official word from Western Province Rugby with Faisal Felton towards the end of the show, so don't go away. But let's catch up now. Franschhoek, we're up against Villiersdorp over the weekend. Very exciting.
Ja, dat was na lang tijd was weer op de verjaardag verschenen. Ja, de staf voor 2 jaar, de skiersport, te kopen, dit is teruggehouden. Ja, voor mij boys, ons het begin, einde januari met Foxheid. We hebben 3 weken Foxheid te doen en van laatste kan het dus op de verjaardag. Maar ons krijgen voering toe voor de jaar wat gebeurt. Ja, ik wil bij je danken voor Franschhoek. Dat was een tafelgame. Ja, dat was top Fox kan zien. Mijn man is ook Fox. Maar sterkte wel voeren voor de Superliga. Even mijn man is jaar, onze strijddagen. Bij ons is ook ons doel voor het jaar. Ons wil bijgaan die jaar eerst in goede dagen gaan spelen. Ja, mijn boys is bijna excited. Zo je kan zien, ons de jong spannetje. Onze mannen zien hier spelen dit jaar, maar ik geloof aan de jong mannen, aan mijn jongspan. Ik kan zeggen, onze jong spelers, we gaan een vat voor het jaar voeren toe. Ik zie voor ons vorig jaar, 2023, de goede dagen zaten goed spannen.
Oh, definitief. Ek dink die ouens kon wag nie. Even myself, as jy kyk, baie van ons ouens vanoggend 6:00 toe sien my boodskap sê hulle is reg vir die game. So die excitement is groot. Die ouens was baie lus vir rugby. En as jy kyk wat vandag gebeur hierso, was 'n goeie return vir rugby. Definitief ja. As jy nou sê, hulle is met die topspan in Superliga, is ek baie trots op die boys. Because hulle het baie goed gedoen. Om agter te wees 21-0 om terug te kom en die game te verloor 31-45, dink ek as 'n paar besluite van die ref ander way gegaan het, dan was dit definitief 'n different score geweest. Ja, ek sal sê want hy gevoel, hy sound van die skare het vir ons weer teruggebring dat okay, nou is rugby weer terug. Jy nou soos dit moet behoort te wees. Die paar jaar terug of verlede jaar wat rugby was baie vervelig, want jy weet nie regtig gevoel jy doen 'n oefengame of is net coaching en daai tipe goedes. Maar vandag voel dit ons het gespeel vir die skare. Daai sound wat jy hoor as die ouens gaan skool, nee, ons het daai gemis. Ja, nee, definitief dink dit is ons groot mikpunt vir die jaar. As ek kyk met ons performance teen 'n Superliga span, dink ek daar is groot ek wil net sê potensiaal vir die ouens. Daar is ja, groot potensiaal vir die ouens en die excitement. Jy kan definitief die excitement is gevaarlik, ja.
Ja, die spiegelen wat ons al laatst jaar aan dat er weer aan rugby is en van hij tijd of blijf voor die coaches krijgen. Coaches wanneer we gaan oefenen ons is de hoofd van Bismarck 7 toen we ons daar deelnemen. Die coaches zeggen mannen, jullie staan sterk. We week op oorstijd. Ons gaat volgende jaar beginnen, maar ons gaan die 7 spelen. Ons focussen op die 15 man. Maar dus voor 2 jaar moet er niks inkomsten raad dus en was je eigenlijk geld om te gaan met een 7 tournament in. Op een moment dat we ons focus op, ons nog niet gaan oefenen zo. Ja, ons vat het maar game voor game van die vrienden af. Ja, toen die mannen hoor, als de eerste vrienden was die mannen bij excited. Toen ik kan zien dat die bal het gevloeid. Mannen is nog een fucksbad. Op het einde van de tijd, rugby wat zie je vier, als lik kom weer die bal in die hand. En zo ja, ons kijken voor en toe. Ja, nee, we zien uit om 2022 een succes te maken. Ons begin van vandaag af, eerste game als klaar is week naar die tweede 1 en toe. We gaan volgende week even games, we zien uit om alle te spelen. Als ik een lekker 1 bij alle. Zo ja, we zien uit.
Dat is het belangrijkste geweest. Ja, die mannen, toen de mannen horen, hij gaat weer rugby wist, toen die numbers zo komt. Die mannen was excited om weer via te vatten en om die klomp toeschouwers te zien. Hij is maar altijd de beste voor hulle, man. Hulle lijkt me zo zo opzet voor de mensen. En hij is al waar we voor aan zoeken, man. Ons wil net entertain en altijd een lekker geven, zo. Hij is maar al. Bij ons is het gewerkt met 14 man, 15 man. Hij is maar hoor ik van via toen de mannen horen, die friendlies gaat beginnen. Toen kom je numbers. Ons heeft vandaag 4 volle spannen gefield met reserve zo. Die numbers konden, hij is nog een paar mannen wat bij de huisjes. Hij is nog altijd een beetje tinten voor die COVID en of je rugby weer gaat op en zo. Maar de numbers komen, dat raakt net bitter bij de dag. Ja, ons is recht, ons is baie en ons had mijn hardweek nou die komende week en die weken wat nou komt tot die link, maar ons had mijn hardweek, maar die mannen is recht bij die dag, maar die mannen zal inzetten en ons zal aankomen waar het wel is.
Franschhoek against Villiersdorp. Great to see that clubs are finding different friendlies. Of course, we got a string of posters that have come in from our players. Oh, by the way, the result there, 45-31 to Franschhoek. So, not a walk in the park, but it's a game. Very exciting to have our club rugby guys playing rugby. Don't forget, of course, folks, this past weekend was also the Varsity Cup. So some close shaves there. UCT coming away with a very, very narrow win, and then of course a solid win for Marty's as well, and of course UWC also then playing in the Varsity Cup. So of course rugby is definitely back. We've got a lot of posters in as well from our clubs that have managed to tell us who their fixtures are. So Albion's and Eerste Rivier and Hamadias and a number of clubs have sent in their posters to us. So we'll talk about that a little bit later during the course of the show. We'll take a break. When we come back, We go down to the High Performance Centre where it's Curry Cup time. Jerome Parvater and his team are busy getting ready for the Griquas this weekend. And we'll be catching up with Tristan Lades and Liam Kloosman. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. You can see we're all super excited about the fact that how clubs are back in action. And yes, we're talking about the Stormers, and we're talking about the Curry Cup sides, but a lot of information coming in then from clubs at the moment. We've got so many posters from clubs. And this is something that over the years we've been talking about, is sending in your posters. You can put your sponsor's logo on there. You can tell us about your fixtures. You can tell us about any other information that you might have on your poster, and we're happy to give that publicity. We went down to the High Performance Centre in Belleville to catch up with the Curry Cup guys. Tristan Lades, Liam Kloosman, some of the players we spoke to, and of course they take on the Griquas in Kimberley this Friday.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the Curry Cup, there's a bunch of guys who didn't play over the COVID period. Still in COVID, but the first year, only a bunch of us played, and some got a couple of minutes in the URC. And just the time that we came together as a Curry Cup group, we managed to get some good meters in, some good days of hard training, and everyone's on track, so we're ready to hit the Curry Cup properly. Yeah, definitely. I think we're really balanced in terms of youth and a couple of seniors, and we're trying to tighten that gap where they need to still learn a lot within the game, and they usually say that the game's quite a bit faster for them, so we just try to help them wherever we can. Yeah, I think especially while the URC was happening to the back end of last year, the smaller unions, I'd say, that's performing in the Curry Cup had more time to prepare. They had a longer pre-season, which probably helps them to be fitter on the field. But I know a couple of the guys of the Griquas that was here with us, been talking to them. They're quite up for this game, and they're usually up for it down there in Kimberley. It's quite a tough one for us with the dry weather. But both teams looking to run the ball, so it should be a good play.
Yeah, it's amazing to be back on the field. A lot of the guys got a bit of cabin fever, staying at home, so we were lucky to come back a bit earlier and do a lot of field fitness and get really fit. So yeah, it's very lucky to be back on the field now, playing a few games, and yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, it's brilliant. We got some really powerful guys from the under-20s, some big chaps, really talented guys, and then people like me who are kind of in between. and then the older guys like Ali and Tim that just bring all the experience, and we're all learning, and it's this new modern day game where there's lots of running rugby, and we're all trying to mix it all together and try put out the best on the field on Saturday. Yeah, a lot easier. I mean, I feel so comfortable under him. He's such a highly rated coach, and I mean, being with him before, I know exactly how he wants the game to go, and it's just really comfortable for me. So I'm familiar with all his techniques, and so I'm really comfortable, for me.
Ja, ek dink coach Jerome en coach Nazim wat opgetrek is, congratulations vir hulle. Hulle het baie goeie job gedoen by die onder 20s. En ja, nee, het was 'n makliker aanpassing familiar faces. Ek dink net party van ons was 'n bietjie skrikkerig as jy nou kyk en dan speel jy langs aan Tim Sweel en is Leolens as manne wat jy opgekyk het toe jy op skool was. So anders as dit dink ek dit was baie maklik om in te pas, ja. Ja, nee, ek dink dit is altyd 'n confidence booster as jy 'n groot naam in jou span het en nie net dit as jy ook oefen is, manne wat hulle het tyd vir jou, jy vra, hulle antwoord vir jou en hulle gee goeie advice. So nee, dit was great om saam te kan speel, ja. Nee, ons is baie excited om Griekos toe te gaan. Het gaan 'n moeilike game wees, 'n paar groot name daar ook, manne wat opgetrek is van die Varsity Cup en so wat hulle kans gaan kry, maar ek dink ons sal goed doen daarso.
Yeah, so very excited. Obviously, like you said, you know, the last 2 years have been tough for like everyone. Like myself, like personally, I've played like little to like no rugby in the last 2 years, obviously due to COVID and stuff. It's quite nice like now with Curry Cup and like URC like running at the same time because like, you know, we were like fringe players for like the past 2 years pretty much, so we also like getting an opportunity to play and just even like looking at our team and stuff, like we have a lot of young players and it's a massive opportunity for us to play like competitive rugby, and it's Curry Cup, but it doesn't really get better than that. So no, there's a great balance. Like if you look, we have like guys like Connor, like Sasha, like in our squad. They were like literally like in school like 2 years ago. Obviously they also played under 20s last year, so it's a good mix. And then we have like veterans like Ali, and we've got like Neertling now coming back, like some of the older guys. So it's a lovely mix between the two. And I think there's also like guys like myself, obviously we were like in that mid-range, you know, 24, 25. So it's a great balance like between like all the ages, and obviously like in the squad, you know, there's no seniors or juniors or whatever. We all just like try to play like together and help each other, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's very exciting. Obviously finishing school, like I really wanted to come to the institute because I saw it as like the best place to make me into like a proper professional like rugby player. And it was like one of the toughest years I actually like had, but I knew that like if I could survive that year, I could probably survive being a professional like rugby player and stuff. And like I've really enjoyed my time. Obviously my biggest goals and like one of my biggest achievements at the time when I was young was to represent like the junior Springboks. I think there's no boy that plays rugby that doesn't dream to one day like play for the junior Springboks. So it's been like a massive like ride, and obviously like now playing like Curry Cup and putting on the Dizer, it really doesn't get much better than that, you know. So far like I've really been blessed, and I'm really happy with how I've come so far.
Right, so Jerome and the guys, of course, getting ready for Griquas this coming weekend in the Carling Curry Cup. They play on Friday. So on their way then, of course, to Kimberley this coming weekend. Right, folks, as you know, Iceberg air conditioners and compressors are, of course, on board with Cape Rugby TV. They're currently running a promotion for you to win 1,500 rands worth of value, courtesy of Iceberg aircons and compressors. And, of course, by now you know Iceberg was established a while back when a number of them came together to combine a number of years of experience in the air conditioning and compressor field. So we're very happy to have Iceberg aircons and compressors on board with us. You can see their logo behind me right there about now. A lot of credibility in the market, folks. They're able to look after your air conditioning needs, and they've got a tremendous amount of experience having serviced the likes of Westbank and Stanek and Spartan, and they also have stretched their footprint into the aviation space and do air conditioning for helicopters and such. But right now Iceberg is running a promotion for you to win a full aircon service for your motor vehicle. And that, of course, includes a regas, oil replacement, a dye replacement, leak detection, pressure check, basically everything that you need to sort out your air conditioning for your car. And it does seem that this heat in Cape Town is not going away. And as we know in Cape Town, or at least in the Western Cape, when the heat is gone, it's winter. So get your air conditioning sorted out. The prize is worth 1,500 Rand from Iceberg Aircons and Compressors. And all you need to do is go to our Facebook page, go to the Cape Rugby TV Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, and put in the comment section there where we're running the competition at the moment, you'll see the photograph, hashtag Iceberg Aircons and Cape Rugby TV, and tag 3 friends. And that'll put you in the mix to win 1,500 Rands worth of value prize from Iceberg Aircons and Compressors. And as I said, that's their logo behind me right there. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking club rugby. Back in a sec. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. Right, so of course, as you know, the DHL Stormers currently playing in the URC. We went down to the High Performance Centre in Bellville. This is, of course, after their successful win over the Lions over the weekend. They beat the Lions in Johannesburg 32 points to 10. I know that Coach John Dobson and his team will be very happy. But let's catch up with the boys behind the scenes.
Yeah, very excited. Nice thing that we're playing some home games, you know, also locally getting some fans in, which has been something that's been missing for a long time. So it's nice to hear our fans wearing our jerseys and cheering us on, you know, especially the derbies, you know, the past few weeks. So yeah, look, obviously there's lots of stuff there's a few things obviously we need to iron out, but we're very pleased with the win, the way the guys played and stuck it out the whole game and played a full game of 80. Yeah, of course. Obviously everyone is aiming to get better. You know what I mean? So having guys, you know, go at each other, you know what I mean, giving their 100% and, you know, kind of challenging each other, it helps you grow as a player. You know what I mean? Makes you stay on your toes and make sure that, you know, each practice you come out with something that you can, you know, tick off or keep on, you know, hammering on it in the following weeks and further on. Yeah. It's been tough, but I've been enjoying it. You know, obviously it's not an easy journey, but I've really been enjoying it, having great teammates and coaching staff that really, you know, kind of invest in you and help you along the way. You know what I mean? Also having a good support, family support structure. You know what I mean? But mostly I've been enjoying it. You know, I love this game, so it's quite rewarding to keep on going to the next level as the years go by.
Ja, nee, beslis. Ek dink ons het uiteindelik toe ons nou na nuwejaar weer bymekaar kom. Dit is soos die never-ending season, wat ons nou al van die COVID, wat ons weer begin speel het, en toe sit al die plaaslike spanne, ek dink omtrent elke 10 keer gespeel of iets, maar nog steeds die beste daarvan gemaakt, maar het is nou baie opwindend die nuwe toernooi, wat ons laas jaar vooruit gehad het vir 'n maand te toer, nuwe plekke te speel by groot spanne en so ja, ons het nou 'n bietjie plaaslike speel sien uit vir volgende week, ek dink dit gaan in Tavian wees, maar ja, dit is 'n lekker ondervinding en is nog 'n geleentheid om so half op die internasionale verhoog te wys wat ons kan doen. Ja, ek dink van nou, mense begin nou praat en so, ek sê, dit is baie makliker om die underdog te wees, as wat mense begin nou seker goed verwag. So ek dink vir ons, om net gefokus te bly, ons nog niks bereik hier, is nog nie daar nie, maar baie goeie wen, altyd moeilik met die Leeu's daar, hulle is altyd bietjie onvoorspelbaar en so, en dieselfde met die laaste 4 weke, ek dink ons het begin stadig aan bou, en nou is dit om kan ek aanhou bou daarop. Dat ons nie 2 tree vorentoe en dan weer 1 terug gee, dat ons aanhou vorentoe beweeg soos ons kan. Ja, nee, beslis. Nee, ek dink dit is 'n groot voorreg om nuwe plekke te sien. Gaan nou die eerste keer wees wat meeste van ons daar speel. Die weer dink ek gaan uitdagend wees, maar soos gesê, dis 'n geleentheid om te wys wat ons kan doen. So ja, sien definitief uit om bietjie te toer, veral in hierdie vreemde tye. Ek dink dit is 'n helse voorreg. So ja, sien baie uit en hopelik kan ons daar wegkom met punte of ten minste 'n goeie vertoning opsit. Nee, natuurlik. Ek dink ons laas jaar al getoer het by Munster en so met daai stadion. Dit is 'n ongelooflike belewenis, die passievol en net weer die vol stadion. Natuurlik lekker dat hier stadig aan mense hier begin terugkom.
Maar dit sal anders wees en dis mos nou hulle tuisgronde en so, die ure is erg vir hulle rugby en hulle spanne. So ek dink ons sal baie geraas wees en so sal dit seker maak ons is voorberei daarvoor. Dit ons aandag gee en hopelik die skare en so al skree hulle miskien nie vir ons nie, maar om daai as ekstra motivering en ekstra drukte vir onsself te gee om goed te vertoon.
Here we go.
Yeah, I think coming back after COVID and playing a new competition, that's very stimulating for us. The past 18 months have been tough because it's week in, week out, same opposition, and I just think something different and something more competitive is actually what we needed just to get that motivation and stimulus back in our rugby. 100%. I think we're a unit from Stormers to Western Province, the Currie Cup side. We are a unit, and that's what's going to help us move forward and get better as a union. Like you said, getting a quality opposition against each other at the trainings, and just having that depth within the squad. We've got 2 squads basically, but anyone can slot in at any time, whether it is Stormers or Western Province. Like I said earlier, this is a different stimulus for us. I think you don't need much motivation to go overseas and play against some quality opposition. Connaught has been phenomenal throughout this URC, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be wet, rainy, windy. It's a very tough side of Ireland. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and yes, hopefully we can just build on what we've been doing in the domestic, call it the South African Conference so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I think first of all, we're all just relieved to be playing rugby again, no matter what format it is. So yeah, I think when it gets taken away from you for that long a while, we just appreciative of playing. But I think going forward for SA Rugby, obviously it makes more sense logistically. It's closer. Economically, there's going to be more opportunities for SA Rugby. So yeah, it's just something we want to take with both hands. Obviously, a lot to adapt to in the way they ref, the way they play that side. But yeah, I think going forward, it's more excitement. I mean, I didn't get to play Super Rugby that much, so I wouldn't know what the whole competition was like. But yeah, I think there's excitement going forward for all of us. Yeah, I think every rugby player, it's a highlight to get to tour with the guys, get to see new places. I mean, that's what rugby brings, those opportunities and stuff. And it's also not just looking at it from a player perspective, but look at it as in a holistic sort of way. The supporters are tired of the local derbies, Stormers against Lions again, 2 weeks in a row. People get tired of that brand of rugby. So yeah, exciting as I mentioned before for us to be playing those teams, and also exciting for the viewers at home. Just hopefully the COVID situation gets nipped in the bud and we can get as many supporters back into the stadiums as possible, as it is when you play overseas. Yeah, it's amazing, that atmosphere. Yeah, I think obviously it's tough not having played in the past 2 years where everything is sort of in the air, on and off. I just like to encourage the guys to keep on working hard, keep on making those sacrifices, and hopefully as planned, league starts. I think it's in April, and then all of that will pay off. I for one came through those ranks, enjoy playing for UCT or on 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night with the guys. So I just like to encourage them to keep on going, and there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Right, so the Stormers in good spirits. They, of course, come off the back of that win against the Lions, 32 points to 10 over the weekend. They now have a bye this coming weekend, and then they travel to Ireland, where they'll be taking on Connaught in their first match overseas on the 26th of February. Right, folks, well, of course, as you know, on a weekly basis, we go down to MChem 24-hour pharmacy to take a look at what's happening down there. You can see MChem in all its glory behind me now. Remember, MChem 24-hour pharmacy is open 24 hours a day and, of course, always there for you. And it certainly is the pharmacy that you need to go to first if you need anything, especially when it comes to medicine. They have a wide range of medicine, a very high range of medicine with very high stock levels. So, and of course, if there's something that they don't have, they will get it for you. Multiple pharmacists on duty to help you, the customer, 24/7. And don't forget, of course, the other absolute bonus at MChem 24-hour pharmacy is that they have medical aid administrators available at the pharmacy to help you. So if you need to be processing any medical aid claims or need any advice on how to structure your medical aid claims, then of course MChem 24-hour pharmacy is the place for you. As I said, open 24/7, fantastic parking outside, fantastic coffee shop upstairs, and of course don't forget all those multiple zones at the pharmacy. We'll take a break. When we come back, we carry on talking club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. It's, of course, Cape Rugby TV. And, of course, as you know, every week we're talking about club rugby. Now, last few weeks has been seen an incredible increase in the conversation around club rugby. A lot of clubs at the moment busy with their friendly fixtures. We're getting quite a lot of posters as well, where clubs are sending their posters to us to talk about their friendlies and the friendly fixtures that are heading up towards the season start on the 2nd of April. And by the way, if you're a player out there and you haven't got back down to practice yet, well, the season starts on the 2nd of April. So we suggest that you get the wheels turning and get down to practice. We went down to Busy Bees this week and caught up with them at their training session. There's about 40 players, including juniors and seniors, and we catch up there also to conversation with Nadeem McKenzie and some of the players.
Yeah, it's been a long time. The guys have been hungry. The guys have been starved under the pandemic. But yeah, we are glad and happy to be back. Yeah, as you see, the energy is positive. Everyone is excited. Yeah, we're here. Yes, we are blessed. That's all I can say. The club is blessed. The future is looking brighter and brighter. Each and every year that I'm part of this team, I can see hope. I can see change. And the guys are excited. The guys want to see themselves going somewhere. So for me, all I can say is that the team is blessed. We are blessed. Yes, but we all know it's not going to be easy, as we are all hungry for the game. It's going to take a lot of into us, and it's going to take a lot to do, to grind, to come to the field and prepare our body and also our mind. Remember, it's been quite some time for us to get those hits, those tackles, those scrummage. Yeah, it's going to be a struggle, but yeah, we are there, we are here, and then we are willing to strive and take chances and prepare and get back to the horse again. Yeah, we are ready, gun blazing. All I can say is that the BCP that all people know, it's here, and we're here to stay, and then we're going to continue where we left off.
Yeah, of course it is, because it's been a long time that we've been at the field, and Busy Bees has been a bit fortunate. Last year we played quite a few games, we went on tour, but this year, because the league is kicking in, we really want to compete in the league this year. Yeah, I mean, township rugby is phenomenal, and this is one of the big reasons I came here, you know what I mean? And these guys, they come in numbers in this. I mean, you get the under-20s, you get the girls team, you get the juniors, and you get 4 senior teams, which is amazing coming out of a township, and this is what we want, you know what I mean? I mean, Busy Bees has brought a lot of growth to the community. I mean, there's a lot of kids working full VUSA as well. You know what I mean? They get a bike, they get to ride, they keep healthy. And I mean, the community just keeps growing us all the time, and these players just come out of the community, and that's what we want. Do you know what I mean? Busy Bees, like I said, we're very blessed with talent. And anybody out there, Busy Bees is going to be the team to beat this year. Yeah, I mean, we're playing 4 friendlies. We're playing against Alces River. Then we've got Gardens and Lagunia, and we've got Hamlets and possibly Kraaifontein as well. So that's a lot of rugby before the season starts, you know what I mean? And these guys are hungry to play these games. And then we've still got Easter tournament as well, you know? So it's a lot of football coming, but we're going to work hard to get there. I reckon we'll be ready. God's going to bless us with a good season of rugby this year, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's the way we go forward. You know, we got to believe, and from belief comes good things. And Busy Bees is one of those clubs that's got a lot of good things coming.
We didn't have such a bad term last year. We played a couple of friendlies, and because we wanted to keep the team together as much as we can. Yes, COVID did have an impact on us all, but we tried so much to keep the structure of the club and the club going on last year. So we're quite excited about this year. Fortunately, the league is going to start, and we're looking forward to our friendlies that will be playing off-season, and also boosting women's rugby again, because the last game we played was the 7th game at Newlands. So we're trying to boost it as much as we can now, getting kids up from the ranks of high school into the senior women's side. Yeah, well, we are fortunate that we probably, I could call it the hub of women's rugby in the Western Cape. This is where we bring out the best of women's rugby. We're excited to see 2 of our girls who got an invite into the Springbok training squad also. So every day there is a new talent that is being discovered, and we are waiting with anticipation what might come up in the season. Last year, yes, we did have a couple of games, and even this weekend we're going to Hermanas to play the Sevens, Hermanas Sevens. So it's quite a booster for us actually. It's always a booster for us to get the women's rugby up and running as soon as possible before the league actually starts. Especially after the tournament we had going out to the Eastern Cape last year, September. So a lot of guys are looking forward to, and the games actually, they are organized in a nice way. You know, you start with the light ones, then you get to the tougher ones as we move. So that's what we want to build. We want to build the momentum going on. Yes, we don't have much numbers yet as we had wished, but as time goes on, we're going to get a lot of players coming back into the system and playing in our squads. I think my coach did say we are not finishing anything below top 6 this year. That's our mission. Also, when we celebrate our 100th year next year, 2023, we want to have cemented ourselves into the Super League B. So yeah, we've got huge plans. You can see the guys are eager to come in. We can't wait for the season to start.
Busy Bees in good spirit. Of course, staying ready, or getting ready at least, for action. A couple of friendlies on their cards as well. And well, let's wait also and wait to see what happens with the Easter weekend. Great to see that some of the Busy Bees players, women's players in fact, have now been invited to the Springbok camp. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back, we'll carry on talking club rugby. Don't go away, back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. As you can see, we've got MChem Pharmacy there in all its glory behind me now. Remember, open 24/7. And there are the club jerseys. You can send your jerseys in to us. And, of course, great to see the sponsors behind. We're slowly getting more and more clubs sending their jerseys as they finalize their jerseys for the season. In studio with me now, and for us to help always get the official word, Faisal Felton, Western Province Club Rugby. Faisal, welcome back.
Good evening, JP. Good evening, listeners. Always good to be back.
Yeah, so it's been a week since we saw you, but you guys seem like you've been pretty busy. Certainly one of the things that we're seeing is a lot of information from clubs saying they've got friendly fixtures.
No, definitely. I think, from meeting that we had last night, we can clearly see, the clubs are ready. We're back. Club rugby is happening this year. Season is kick off on the 2nd of April. Friendlies have started. So there's a lot of stuff that will be happening in the next couple of weeks. I think from a club perspective, everybody's keen and ready and gearing to go.
So just give us a little bit of input there. You say you had a meeting with the clubs last night. What does that mean? Is it, when you guys do these meetings, is it planning meetings? Is it technical meetings? Is it coaching? Is it referee?
No, I think it's just more of confirmation that there's going to be a season. There will be rugby taking place, as I said earlier, starting on the 2nd of April. Basically, the fixtures have been drawn up. It's just waiting now to be released. So rugby is ready and gearing to go.
So that's fantastic news. So the process that you're going through now, is it an engagement process? You speak to different clubs about preparing for the season, what comes next, the rules, the regulations, and so on?
Yeah, so from a fixtures point, there are definitely a number of challenges. Certainly with teams, days that they can and can't play, there's other competitions happening, Varsity Cup. So from my side and the officer side, basically is taking all of that into consideration. So when we drop the fixture, our timeline is season starts in April and ends at the end of September. So within that parameters, we've basically got to draw those fixtures and make it happen.
Suppose you guys have to think about all sorts of things like municipalities and the city and water restrictions. Is the grass getting cut and all those kind of things. So a lot of, I'm assuming a lot of technical things beyond that as well. Tell us a little bit about, we believe that the SA Rugby women's side is in Cape Town at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely lots of stuff happening on, from the ladies side. There's a sevens camp taking place. A number of our girls ladies are involved there, and there's also tomorrow starting the forwards camp. So basically, they're going to focus on lineouts and then scrummaging on Friday. So I think that's something in terms of what the coach Stanley has got planned, and that they basically is preparing the ladies for World Cup. And I think from our side it's also beneficial because we've got a number of ladies that are actively involved. So it's good to see the ladies busy, but I think it's also good to see the amount of preparation and planning that's being done, and it's filtering all from the top down.
So are some of the ladies from Western Province?
Yes, there's quite a few ladies that's actively involved, from the forwards. And I think from our side, we're quite fortunate to have it here in Cape Town, the camp. So, it helps us in terms of planning and preparation and, piggy banking off these camps that's taking place when it comes to the ladies and, getting them down to have extra training sessions.
Well, that's certainly good news from our side because we've been focusing on women's, well, not focusing, but yeah, we've been focusing and helping behind the scenes with women's rugby for the last 2 years with a high focus. Behind the scenes, interviews. So that's really great news to see that the system is working, put it that way. Faisal, tell us a little bit about referees. I mean, we keep talking about clubs, we're talking about fixtures, we're talking about women's rugby. We haven't spoken about, and we're going to speak about or juniors. We've in fact over the last year or so also spoken a little about your YTC program. But we haven't spoken much about referees. This is obviously one of the elements that one has to think about for a game to even carry on.
No, definitely. I think that was one of the discussions that we had at the meeting last night, is the concern with regards to the amount of referees. A lot of the club's concerns were with regards to players. I think from a referee perspective, the concern is the amount of referees that we had. We were struggling prior to COVID. The question is now going to be during COVID, or at least now, what are we going to do going forward? So there is a drive in terms of referees, specifically and especially from the clubs, in terms of the clubs basically supplying and giving us a standby referee that will assist and help on a Saturday. So anybody out there that's interested, that would like to get involved, and still be involved at the club on a Saturday, guys don't want to go out, they don't want to travel. So you can still,
so
take up standby refereeing.
Would you sort of call that like a collective contribution to make the system work? So each club nominate one referee at least. I know in the past it was two, but each club to nominate at least one referee to be on standby to help with making sure the games happen.
No, definitely. I think, JP, the clubs, you can see, we are family. When the help is needed, we all come together, we all work together. And I think from a club perspective, every club is basically focused in terms of giving us each a referee. And like you say, collectively, we can have additional 90 referees, on board. So, yeah, that's the plan.
Faisal, well, of course, as you know, the SCORE Western Province Club Rugby Sevens happens on an annual basis. You did that last year. It was great success. And of course, we run the score competition here where folks are able to spot the ball and win a case of Score energy drinks. So again, we're going to ask you to I haven't seen it. I haven't seen seen it either. But let's take a look. There we see on the screen there, folks. You've got to spot the ball here. There's a possible A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. Right. So, yeah, I've got no idea. Faisal, if you want to give it a shot?
I will say, looking at it, it's probably A2.
A2. You're gonna go with A2. Sure, guys. I think I'm gonna go with with B3. You're gonna go A2. Faisal's going B3. Right, Faisal, let's take a look at the winner then. Of course, it's A2, folks. There's the correct answer, A2. So congratulations, Faisal, you've got it right again. And there we go. Congratulations then to this week's winner, Ephraim Hendricks. Ephraim, you walk away with a case of Score energy drinks and a set of Cape Rugby TV masks, courtesy of CTC Sports. Right, Faisal, thanks very much for that. I think we will leave it at that for this evening. I suppose one last thing is to ask clubs to obviously send us their friendly results. That would be helpful. And, of course, for them to keep sending in their jerseys.
No, and I think one key thing is for all the guys that's still out there, that's sitting in front of the TV and watching and wondering when to get out there and to start training. Go out there. Training has started, clubs are ready, fixtures are going to start, friendlies are going to start, so just get out there and start training.
So if you're a club rugby player, or even if you want to join a club, you mustn't be waiting, you must get started.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to be left behind. The season is happening 2nd of April again, and friendlies are starting, number of clubs playing this weekend, number of clubs, the numbers are growing, so definitely there will be a season.
Well, that's fantastic news, Faisal. We leave it at that. Right, folks, that's a wrap from us this evening. We will see you again next week, same time, same place. A fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.